Welcome to Lightspeed Classroom. This is going to be the full tutorial for all things Lightspeed Classroom. If you are only interested in how to set up your bell schedule or your ad hoc schedule, please check out the other video. That'll be much shorter. All right. So first time when you log into your Lightspeed Classroom for the year, you should be able to see all of your classes here. On your home page here, you can do a couple of different things. One thing you can do is you can move these around. Okay. And say you want them over here, say it over there, juggle them around like cards. You also have the option to hide things, okay? And you can set some colors and things like that, depending on your preference. Most of the settings you're going to find on individual classes. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my World Technology class by clicking on it. Right. When you log in, you're going to have a couple of different sections. Now, first, because this is before school starts, right? My students are not in session, okay? Which means I can't see what they're doing. All right. Now remember, you cannot see students if they are at home or off our network, all right, including Wi-Fi. And then you also cannot see them if it's outside school hours. The first thing you want to do at the beginning of the year is always go into your settings and make any customizations you want. So maybe you want to change the name so it's a little easier to see. Maybe you want to change a color so it makes it a little bit different than the rest to pop out. And then you're going to want to set your schedule. Okay. Everybody has these two options, custom and ad hoc. Custom, I'll be honest, I don't like. It's a pain. If you want to use it, you can, but you have to choose and create your entire schedule from blank. I wouldn't do it. You can also use ad hoc. Elementary teachers, this is my suggestion for you to always use ad hoc. Okay, ad hoc lets you go in to Lightspeed Classroom and choose how long you want to be able to monitor your students. So let's say I'm in my ELA block and it is 1 hour long. I'll click my session duration, 1 hour, and I will select start. All right. Once I hit start, it'll take a second, but then it'll go ahead and start monitoring them. Okay. If I'm done early and they're going to leave my classroom and I want to turn it off, I can go back into my settings and click stop. Okay. Secondary teachers, you will have a third option under your settings for schedule. You will have a bell schedule. Should be right about here. If you have a bell schedule, you can click on that bell schedule and you can choose the class period that you would normally have this class. Okay, that'll be easy, and then it will know first time you log in, or when you log in next time, it'll know exactly what class period you're in. All right, I'm going to close that out. Other options we have here. Okay, so the big button at the top is pause internet. That disables the internet for all of your students. I wouldn't use that very often. Web rules. When you click on web rules, you have a couple of different options. You have allow lists. Allow lists only work if there are a particular site you want them to go to and only that site, and that site doesn't use any other site for information. If that sounds confusing, it's because it is. I don't use allow lists. The way the internet works these days, any website has to go to other websites to gain information, and if you only allow one of those websites, it blocks the rest. Instead, I use what are called block lists. These are things that we want to block. You can have as many as you would like, block lists, and then you can edit and save them. So there's my block list. If I want to select this list, I can click select. If I want to edit it, I can hit view list. The advanced options down here will allow you to turn the internet when they're done. When that's done, that basically means that they change their status to done. Okay. So yes, they can just change it to done when they're not really done, but if you want to teach them responsibility, that might be a good option. So I'll click select lists, and then I will hit apply lists. That will be applied as long until I turn it off, or my class period ends and the student leaves. If you need to turn it off before then, go back to web rules, select turn off web rules. You can also change how you view. You can make things bigger or smaller. So you can drag there, you can make it a list, you can make it a grid. Additional actions you can do is if you select students, let's say I select this student, you can lock screens, unlocks, you can send a link to the entire class, you can send a message to a student or groups of students, add students, and then create groups. Create groups is a nice one, interesting here one. So my class is broken into tables, this imaginary class. So I've created a table 1. This is helpful because you can set web rules and other actions by group. So maybe you have a couple of students who struggle with their digital wellness and they need a little extra guidance. You can put them in a group together, and then you can have separate rules for just those students, which will make your life easier to manage. Okay? Your option if you want to use that. Now, when you select a student, you'll get some options. Tab history, you can see all of the tabs that they currently have open. You can also close them if you want to click on them. We don't have any here for Paige because class is not in session and Paige isn't a real person. But if she was and it was in session, you could see those and you can click on history. You can see what they've been doing while you were monitoring them. Okay, this only works if you are in Lightspeed Classroom and you had it turned on. So if you wanted to go back, let's say you wanted to go back 2 weeks, you want to see what they did on Monday because you were absent. Unless you had a co-teacher that was running Lightspeed Classroom, you are not going to be able to see what those students did. Okay, that's for your safety and use. And then last but not least, you can also record things. Okay, I wouldn't suggest doing this. If you have an issue that you feel like needs to be recorded, you probably need to talk to a building administrator as soon as possible. All right, and then last but not least, close that out. We're back to this main page. To get back to all of your classes, we'll click on My Classes, and that brings you right back to the front. Now you notice this did not save the changes. So let me go back in. One thing I always forget to do, you have to click Save Settings down at the bottom. All right, so now when I go back, now it's different color. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out.